BoardCheck. I'm Jeremy the Impact York. Thank you for joining us once again. We're going to talk some second round and third round matchups here in a second as we get ready for those East Coast and West Coast conference matchups. We're actually going to do a fun thing tonight where all three segments, all three periods will be in a different location. So enjoy this. Our second location, we're not sure of yet. This could be a little sketchy, but we'll get into that as we get into that. First, I want to talk about the East Coast. And in the East Coast, of course, the New York Rangers lasted 6 games, which was probably one more than I thought they might, against the Ottawa Senators. The Senators will advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. The Senators are they're a very interesting team. Obviously, the New York Rangers, when they were really playing well, played very physical, very throwing some forearms and really getting into it. And when they were able to do that, they were able to equalize the Ottawa Pests, as I call them, the guys that just hang out. You know, the Sean Averys of the world. Everybody remembers Sean Avery. Sometimes Ranger fans probably miss that guy. Not many, but sometimes they do. Anyway, Ottawa's got a lot of guys who are just kind of pests. They're kind of annoying. They just hang around. They always seem to be in the way. They always pushing, shoving, just really trying to get under your skin. They got 4 or 5 of those guys, and the only way to neutralize them is to be super aggressive, which is what the Rangers did for about 3 games, and that's why they made it as far as they did. Congratulations to Ottawa. Craig Anderson, fantastic story, fantastic goalie, fantastic husband apparently, and congratulations to him and the Senators on their victory. I watched pretty much the entire series. I was able to catch almost every bit of it. Even went back and watched some of the stuff I was able to catch on DVR, and this was a good series to me. Like I said, I kind of had coming into, my overall thinking was if the Bruins made the playoffs, I think they'll make it around and probably get eliminated. If the Rangers make it, they'll probably make it 2. I seem to be pretty close on those there. Ottawa is a surprise to me, the same way that Anaheim is on the western side. I just didn't see them coming this year. It's the more I wasn't able to watch a lot of Senator games, but when I did, I liked some of the things I saw. I thought it was solid gameplay from them. Like I said, they got those pests, and they also have people like Pajot, who apparently when he gets streaky hot, he is streaky hot. I think he had 6 goals in that series, 4 in one game, and he seemed to always score when they needed it. So, congratulations to them. Of course, they face the winner of last night's Game 7 thriller. Not much of a thriller, really. The Pittsburgh Penguins, who eliminated the Washington Capitals. Everybody, including myself, had the Washington Capitals blowing through this playoff series just the same way that they did during the regular season. Apparently, I was wrong. They come out very flat a lot of times. Apparently, Ovechkin had a knee and hamstring injury since the Maple Leaf series. He's the last one to make excuses, but at the same time, I kind of see now, now that somebody brings up what it is, I can tell he kind of catered his game to try to protect himself. So, hopefully Ovi gets better. He's not able to play in the World Championships like he wanted to, which is something that really means something to him a lot more, and his country, obviously. But, Pittsburgh is Pittsburgh. To me, they have to be the front runner to win the whole thing this time. They get the matchup with the Ottawa Senators. They can play physical. They prove they can play without Crosby. Can they play without Malkin? If something were to happen to Malkin, I don't know, because he's really taken over this year and proved to everybody that they're more than a one-trick pony. I've never been the world's biggest Pittsburgh fan, but I respect the way they play. I respect, it's like with Chicago to me. They're just one of those big classic teams. Crosby had a fantastic year. Malkin's playing great. How about the fact that Matt Murray gets hurt and you get Marc-Andre Fleury, who you try to run out of town to be your goalie, and now it seems like he's as hot as he ever was. It's hard to get anything past him, and when you do, there's a good chance that he's already up 2 goals anyway. Pittsburgh likes to strike early, likes to strike often, something Ottawa's going to have to get past, and Craig Anderson's going to literally have to stand on his head, turn himself into a brick wall to stop just the way that they play. And I think it's going to be a fantastic series. I'm going to say it could go 7, but I'm going to say Pittsburgh and 6. Pittsburgh and 6 on the East. And I feel pretty good about that. But it's going to do it for period number 1. When we come back, we'll talk about some NHL stories. And then in the third period, we'll follow that up with talking about some West Coast action. Right here on BoardCheck. We'll see you guys in a few. Welcome back to BoardCheck, period number 2 on the board. And for some reason, we have found a corner down here in the basement or something. I'm not sure what's going on with the lighting, but either way, in the first period, we talked about the East Coast matchup. The Ottawa Senators and the Pittsburgh Penguins. We'll talk about the West coming up in the third. But for right now, I want to go over some NHL news, and there's a really big story towards the end, and I will give you my take on it. And I've already had feedback already because I talked a little bit about it on Facebook. But basically, what you need to know is that Scott Darling, the former Blackhawks goalie, who was recently traded to the Carolina Panthers for a third-round pick in this year's draft, that oddly enough Carolina actually got from Ottawa. Apparently didn't need it. Signed a 4-year, $16.6 million deal with Carolina. So he's pretty much going to be their guy, pretty much. And congratulations to him. Blackhawks fans, you're going to wonder why you didn't keep him. But then again, he could have been one of the guys on the cut list to go to Vegas. So at least you got a third-round pick for him at this juncture. That expansion draft is coming up. Torrey Krug, everybody knows him. We cover the Bruins here, and Boston Bruin great Torrey Krug graduated from college. He actually went back and got his degree from Michigan State, and it was in political science. So congratulations, Torrey Krug, showing that you can do more than play hockey, which everybody in this league can. But it's fantastic he was able to go back and get his degree. So congratulations on that. Speaking of those Vegas Golden Knights, they have signed their second player, and of course that is forward Vadim Shipachyov. He recently played in the KHL. He's actually a pretty good player. He is a lot better player than I have the ability to say his name. I'm going to keep working on that, and hopefully I didn't butcher it too much, but congratulations to them on that. The Stars were able to get Ben Bishop from the LA Kings for a fourth-round pick in this year's draft. They brought in Ben Bishop for that playoff run, the one that didn't happen. Good job. You're welcome, Kings fans. But we all knew Ben Bishop was going to be the odd man out. So congratulations to the Stars, who need practically everything. They are sometimes like the Jets or the Browns of the NHL, that right now their team looks like a Connect Four board before you start playing. So they were able to get Ben Bishop, who is a quality goaltender. It gives them somebody to move forward with and build from there. How about some defense? That would help. You guys have scorers. You need some defensive help, so hopefully you address that. But I thought that was a pretty good deal there. The Gladiators having their youth camp. It is coming up. You can go to AtlantaGladiators.com for more information on that. You can also follow them on Twitter. You can follow them on Facebook, Instagram, all that. And they have all the information. It is coming up. I believe it's mid-June or maybe even early July. But you need to definitely register the young Gladiators out there for that. And it's going to be a fantastic camp. Good chance some of the players may drop by or even be instructors. So definitely want them to go by and meet some of the amazing people involved, and especially the coaches that will be running it. I wanted to call out the Nashville Predators for a good reason, not just because they moved on to the Western Conference Finals, but because not only did Fiala come back the other night, and it was fantastic to see him. That kid's going to be good. Looks like his rehab's going pretty well. But also, a lot of people have trouble getting people to sing the national anthem. So country music stars, since it's Nashville, started volunteering, especially since people started to slam Nashville for different things, including the Predators team in general, but also Nashville as well. It's not a sports town and all that. They don't have the real support of people. And, well, first of all, you're dead wrong. They have a pretty good fan base, a fantastic fan base. Nashville is definitely a place on my list. Maybe next season we take the show there for a minute. But, they've had everybody from Carrie Underwood to Little Big Town. Every time they have another country star. I think Blake Shelton did a few of them. That they just come in and they go, you know what? We love the Predators. And they sing the national anthem. So next time you want to slam the Predators, how many different music stars sing your national anthem every year? Exactly. So is what it is. Now, the last one that I may get a little fired up about, I may have to have somebody. You know, I'm not even going to tell them to do that because they will absolutely do that. It seems that Ilya Kovalchuk has told his agent, who has told a lot of teams in the league, he may want to come back and play. Okay, that's fine. Welcome back. Just know that whatever team Kovalchuk plays for, I will still boo him until the bluest blue hell there is. I don't necessarily hold a grudge against him or anything, but you know, being a part of Blue Land, it was something completely different from anything else. And I wish you the best, Kovalchuk. Just know that I may respect what you do, but I'm gonna boo you. So people ask what teams could he possibly come back to. Obviously the Devils. I do think it's going to be a bigger team. I don't think it'll be like the Blackhawks, and it won't be Nashville. I don't think, and it won't be Carolina. I could see maybe LA making a run at him, but he's more of an East Coast guy or maybe even a Canada guy. Edmonton's about to be in cap hell, so you got to mark them off. Vancouver's not ready to compete. I don't see him as a Ranger. I'll throw it out there. Is there room on the Bruins for him? Sure. Will the Bruins try to make a move to get him? I don't know. That's I would say 60-40 no, but I'll throw it out there. Maybe just let's hope he's not a Flyer and a few other ones, but maybe a Red Wing. It's going to be one of the bigger teams. I think he's not going to go to a small market. He's not going to pull a Yager and play in Florida or anything like that. I think. But finally, it has gotten more serious and more serious enough to where it seems like Kovalchuk is going to actually come back. So, everybody get ready. Ilya Kovalchuk could be back in the league soon. But that's going to do it for period number 2. Like I said, when we come back period number 3, we're going to talk about the West Coast and the matchups there right here on BoardCheck. We'll see you in a few. Welcome back to BoardCheck period number 3. We're in our third location. You guys recognize this one. Is where we did a lot of the last back half of the show. Where we represent those amazing Gladiators and those amazing Boston Bruins, both of which had I won't say disappointing, but not as good as season as we thought they should. But we're here to talk about the Western Coast matchup, and in the West, of course, you had the Anaheim Ducks, who apparently the Ducks are mighty again, and they can get over it with me calling them the Mighty Ducks, but I'm going to call them that anyway. They outplayed Edmonton, almost slipped up a little bit and let Edmonton catch up to them in the series. The fact that it went 7 surprised me. I really thought at one point that Anaheim would win in 6. That didn't happen. Anaheim is a very interesting team. They seem to be well balanced. They have the stars that can score if they need to. They have the backup guys as well. They have a pretty strong defensive core and strong goaltending. I mean, that's pretty much how you win. I do want to talk about Edmonton for a minute because Edmonton was a team that there was 3 teams that really reached out and grabbed my attention from the very beginning. That was Nashville, who we'll talk about in a minute. That was Toronto, and that was Edmonton. And all 3 of these have a lot in common. Not only have killer sweaters that you can probably get at NHLshop.com or whatever that website is, among other places. But they all have young talent. They have a couple veterans to balance it out. Fantastic goaltending. And all 3 of these teams are not going anywhere anytime soon. So Kings, Sharks, all you guys, Chicago, all of you guys on the West, you got to know that if you're going to advance in these playoffs in the next couple years, you're going to have to go through Edmonton. You're going to have to go through Toronto. You're going to have to go through Nashville. And good luck because all these teams are going to bring it. So, congratulations to Edmonton for making it as far as they did. I felt like they just ran out of steam, but all these young guys learned a lot of experience, and sky's the limit as far as that's going to happen. The ceiling could be the limit, but not here. The sky's the limit. Once again, congratulations to Anaheim on their victory. Now that brought up the series, of course, the one that ended so early, and that was when Nashville was able to take out the St. Louis Blues in 5 games, I think. But they advanced to the Western Conference Finals. St. Louis was good, but I felt like they ran out of steam as well and just couldn't deal with the firepower and the overall momentum that Nashville carries right now. They're the most rested team. So, the fact that Anaheim played a couple overtime games and they've went to Game 7 now, that's going to help Nashville, I believe. Um, the Predators, as far as who won the PK Subban trade, Shea Weber trade, it's even. Both teams have benefited greatly from that. PK Subban has found his own. He has become one of the faces of this team, as they thought would happen when they traded for him. Nashville just, like I said, there's so much young talent. They balance out with a couple veterans here and there. This is a team that should scare a lot of people. They're actually the favorite to win the West by probably about 75% of the media and analysts. And I tend to agree. I believe Nashville is going to beat Anaheim in 6 games. It's going to be a very fantastic series. Like I said, Smashville could be a place on our radar in the near future. We definitely want to try to check that out, as far as they're probably the closest team to us here in the Atlanta area. And also might make it out to Raleigh to go see the Hurricanes play, because they're the other close team. So it'd be fun to go see those play. But as far as the Nashville Anaheim series, I think instead of it being physical like I think the East is going to be, I think this game is going to be a lot more finesse, a lot more speed, and a lot more just like fast break scoring. You're just going to see just a goal out of nowhere. Like a guy coming out of the box, they pass to him, he scores. It's going to be real quick. It's a series that you can't miss a whole lot on. The other one's going to be a lot of physical stuff. You're going to, see a lot of banging around, which is fine. You're going to see a lot more penalties as far as that. But Nashville Anaheim is going to be the speed demon race by far. It's going to be the Flash versus the Yellow Flash guy for all you guys to watch that. But hey, I look forward to it. And I think the Yellow guys are going to win this one. And that's going to do it for us here on BoardCheck. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Join us next week. We'll be talking more East and West Coast Conference series and a lot more than that. Maybe some announcements about the show. But I'm Jeremy the Impact York. We will see you guys next week. Go watch hockey.
Let's get ready to rumble! Feel the fires into the red. It's nice and only know how.